Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about method of estimating reliability coefficient. And while discussing method of estimating reliability coefficient, we'll discuss different methods associated with the estimation of reliability coefficient. These methods are nothing but test-retest method, alternate form method, parallel form method, or you can say it's equivalent form method, and the third one is internal consistency method. Further, internal consistency method is further divided into two parts. One is split half method, second one is rational equivalence method. So let us move towards the test retest method. Test retest method, as the name suggests, test first you will give the test. After that, after a certain period of time, you will give the same test to the same group of people, same group of students, and correlate the scores of the first test and the second test. And by correlating this, you can find out the correlation coefficient by using the formula. You can see here the product moment correlation method you can use. You can see the example, the say for instance in your first test the scores are 102432151, and in the retest you can find the scores are 23255326444. Then by putting the product moment correlation coefficient formula, we'll calculate the correlation, and here we found the result is 0.745. By comparing this result with the interpretation reliability coefficient table, we found that greater than zero point 0.7, that means both the scores are matched. That means the test having test retest reliability. Further, by plotting the graph, we found both the scores, the dotted lines, are falling very near to each other. That means match, likely to be matched with each other. That's why we can say the test, whatever we do, having test retest reliability. Now moving towards what are the limitations coming under a test retest method. What are the limitations? So definitely it has some limitations. The limitations are, first is carryover effect. That means you just give the test to the students. After certain period you give the same test to the same group, then there may be a memorization effect. The student may memorize the thing, in the next test they perform better. That's why the carryover effect influence the reliability. So this is first limitation. Second is, in the first test the physical and emotional state of students is may not be same in the retest. That's why it will be create a problem for test retest reliability. And the third limitation is it's not used with for one's test. The fourth one is, and the interval maybe 1 week, maybe 2 week, maybe a month. That means there is no standard interval, so it may fluctuate the limit, means the test reliability. That's why these are the basic limitations of test retest reliability. While conducting test retest reliability, the test taker should keep a bird eye on these limitations. So next we are moving towards the next method, that is parallel form method. Parallel form method, in this reliability you have to prepare two tests, but two tests are equivalent form. And how it will be equivalent? In terms of the equivalency in terms of content. If you are doing the test in algebra, the content should be algebra for both the form. If you formulate four objectives, the objectives should be same for both the form. The format should be same, the difficulty level and discriminating value should be same for both the form. That means you have to prepare two form of a single test. As I'm giving one example, while we are preparing some test for our annual examination or semester examination, we prepare two tests. Sometimes one question will be leaked out, the next format will be given in the short span of time. That's why two form, So the two form must have the same content value, the same objective, same format, same difficulty level, some discriminating value, all are things. And further, while calculating the mean and variance, it is should be very equal, and the intercorrelation should be very equal. And how you can administer the test? You can administer the test. That means the first form can be administered to the group, and the next form will be administered to the same group with a very soon, means as soon as possible you can apply the second form. And the two test scores are correlated by correlation of coefficient. Nota bene, here in nota bene you can say the reliability coefficient obtained by this method is called coefficient of equivalence. Why it is coefficient of equivalence? Because all the things like content, objective, format, difficulty level, discriminating value, all are equivalent. That's why it's called coefficient of equivalence. Now moving towards the next slide, where you can find the example of parallel form method. Say for instance, you have given a form, means one form in a particular time 1, and in the next form in time 2. Here you can find the form A having scores like 30, 25, 35, 22, 38, 31, 29, 28, 32, 30. In the next form, you get the score of 29, 32, 31, 25, 36, 31, 30, 30, 34, 32. And you have 10 subjects, 10 students. And by putting the product moment correlation coefficient method, we found the result is 0.851, and you can compare with the interpretation reliability coefficient table. Here you can see, and we found that there is a better reliability, there is a reliability, a good reliability. And because of this, we can say the test having the parallel form reliability. So next we are moving towards the limitations of parallel form method. That means what are the limitations of parallel form method, what are the things the test taker or the test creator should keep in mind before constructing parallel form method. The first limitation is construction process is too difficult. Definitely construction is too difficult in case of parallel form method, and it is especially used for measuring cognitive ability, and cognitive ability is associated with memory, thinking, reasoning, etc. And while we are talking about intelligence test, personality test, and performance, it's indeed problematic. That means you while preparing two form of intelligence test having same objective, same everything should be same, discriminating values should be same, it's too difficult. Then the third limitation is physical and emotional state may not be same for both the form, because if you are giving a test at 10 a.m., you can't say that at 11 a.m. the subject having the same physical and emotional states. That's why it's yet another limitation. So in nota bene, you can say, beside all limitations, this method is usually the most satisfactory method to determine reliability, and especially it is used for standardized tests. So this is this video depicting the two things. One is test to test, and second one is parallel form. In test to test, one test will be given for 2 times for the same group. In parallel form, 2 forms are given to the same group in different time. So this is the basic difference between parallel form and test to test. So thank you. In next video we'll talk about the other things.